I had a student working with me and I said, I'll pay you $2 more if you put the phone in my glove compartment. He took the pay cut.
Maybe he thought you were going to murder him.
It was a reason.
How you spit game. ਦੋ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ unspoken rizya. The second type is the spoken. What's one thing you don't get about kids today?
That is, I feel sorry that they got lost in their phones.
He grew up in Mission, BC in the 90s. When he was younger there, as a joke, they like got a scissor and brought it near his head because they didn't understand anything about who he was. Like the thing that saved him through all that was like every day at home, his parents would tell him Sakhi.
Every culture was there. Every mom is calling their kid in their own language, come eat food. Mm-hmm. And their common language is the Karshi. Hours before midnight. Hours before midnight. We can talk. You want to talk about something? We can talk all night. Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's myself, Manrab, and special guest SinghGroov'n in the building, country singer, Singh. I'm so happy that you're here because we've been planning this for a few months now, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while. So finally got him in, which is amazing. Super excited to have you.
Yeah.
Let's hop right into it, man.
Yeah, for this special occasion, I decided I'd bring out my Amsterdam jacket. Coolest jacket ever. I'm glad you guys have AC running right now.
Yeah.
Because this is really meant for like 1962, like Yukon.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I hope one day I can recreate this jacket and rebrand it as a signature SinghGroov'n Amsterdam jacket.
Are we gonna get some, or
you guys?
Or we're gonna be the first ones with it? Well,
you guys are gonna be the first models.
Let's go. Okay, let's go.
But this is like, this jacket actually takes me back to when we used to play baseball growing up. All the sports jacket always had this kind of flow to it.
So obviously you grew up in Prince Rupert,
yeah,
right? And then you moved down here to the Vancouver area,
yeah,
right? So how was that transition like for you, and what's some struggles that you faced, obviously, in both areas, from Prince Rupert to the Vancouver area?
So I think anywhere being raised in the 70s and 80s, anywhere in Canada, America, was probably extremely challenging for anybody. In hindsight, you start to forget some of your hardships and you just remember the good stuff. That's all I remember. But what I appreciated from the 70s and 80s was the bluntness. They didn't like you, they tell you. They didn't like your race, they tell you. And
it's straight up.
Yeah.
Now it's in between the lines. It's like, does he like me or does he not? He's just passive aggressive.
Yeah, it's different. So that time, it was awesome. You'd get a confrontation with a hater. You'd beat each other up, and now you're friends for the rest of the year.
You'd punch each other?
Because you gained each other's respect. And so mutual respect from your peer overrides racism any day of the week.
Okay.
Right? If you're a great sportsman, overrides racism. Right?
Okay.
So an easy racism beater is to be very competent and competitive. Right? That's it. There's no racism when that happens. It doesn't belong there. Right? It can't exist there. Because a human is so compelled to respect you. If once they respect you, that stuff becomes secondary. So growing up in Prince Rupert was the best upbringing I think anybody could have. It was a small town. Our Punjabi community was so close-knit. You can go to any auntie's house. House is impeccably clean. There's always roti programs everywhere. It was just beautiful. Yeah. You want to go to town, 2 minutes drive. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? And so we didn't know how good we had it. But when you look back, the thing that I appreciate the most of being raised in Prince Rupert was every culture was there. Every first generation. We got the Desi Italian kids, the Portuguese, Chinese, Korean. Everybody was there. And the funny thing is, dinner time, every mom is calling their kid in their own language, come eat food. Mm-hmm. And their common language is the Karshi. You got a wooden spoon. They're all get inside. Our street had every type of kid.
Yeah.
And the commonality was, come inside, you're going to get a beat down with a
and everybody would just bring out a spoon.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand.
Yeah. And their moms would wave the Karshi at us too.
Yeah.
That's how open it was, right? Right? So, although the hardships of the 70s and 80s was there, but the reality is, man, like the friends I have, they're family, man. Like the people I went to school with, even the haters, the good ones, they're all family. Yeah. So in Prince Rupert, Union Town, money. So here's a typical Friday night in grade 8. Sneak out before your parents stop you.
Yeah, you can dip.
And you know what we do? Straight to Civic Center. That's how we go to the rec center, exchange a jacket for a basketball, play tackle basketball for an hour.
Tackle basketball?
Yeah.
Like you sneak out.
Isn't it nighttime if you're sneaking out? Isn't the shit locked up and closed?
Yeah. No. The civic center used to run till like 10, 11 at night.
Oh, okay.
That's the place everybody.
Your parents slept early, man.
No, it's not even that. It's like if I get out by now.
Yeah.
But if I try to go, hey, Dad, it's 8:30, I'm leaving. Oh, you got to sleep by now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's one of the
Dip around 7. Just get out of the house.
5:30, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll be back.
So you'd exchange a jacket in for a basketball. You'd play basketball.
Huh.
Okay, we're bored now. We'll play badminton, swimming. There's hockey going on. There's judo and karate upstairs. There's certain, like Prince Rupert used to have this thing called Folk Fest.
Yeah.
And it was top-notch expression of people's culture, dance, everything. Filipinos would come and represent. Punjabis would do it. Obviously, the First Nations. It was so awesome. And I remember as a kid watching, you know, when the Chinese people have that dragon.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I remember being 5 years old, just shitting my pants. Like, what's going on? I like the whole grandness of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Pretty majestic. You never see something like that. It's cool.
No, first time I saw it, and so that's the beauty, man, of that small town. You had such talented people, and they represented their communities. They were ambassadors, and art. They expressed their art. So when we got to the Lower Mainland here, primarily in our farming areas here, I found that there was no central place for people of all cultures to just come hang out. It was very segmented, and that was the biggest change. Multicultural.
Yeah.
Like, you could hurl racism at each other, but it was still multicultural.
And Prince Rupert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you call multicultural.
It's all open. It's hilarious.
We'd swear at each other. We still like each other. We're racial peers, right? Yeah. But it was true multiculturalism because guess what? We had no pocket of communities. We didn't have a Chinese-only community. We didn't have our living areas segmented by ethnic populations.
Yeah, okay.
But in Vancouver, when we come here in the Vancouver area, where basically there's certain neighborhoods and you only have monoculture.
Yeah.
And so the biggest problem I had in the Lower Mainland and closer to the farming areas was it's become monoculture, and as much as you can love your people, right? But if you thrive on variance, you thrive on the artistry of expression of humanity, different people. When you thrive on that, it gets very tough. You get pigeonholed, you get locked in. In replacement of travel.
Yeah.
Your best traveling is if you just meet as many different cultures in your area.
Yeah, I was saying that to someone. I was saying to someone who just came back from a trip, and they're like, yeah, I met so many cool people there. And I was like, you know what? Just because you live here, you feel like, oh, there's not that many cool people here, just the same shit every day.
Yeah.
And you don't go out and make the same effort to talk to people.
Yeah.
But if you did, you'd find some of the coolest people like right in your backyard here.
You want to hear an interesting thing? Since I started this whole Instagram thing, I get messages from people. They're like, hey, we want to come see you. I'm like, and as a joke, I was like, fine, you got to make it out to Texas, right?
Yeah.
And they're ready. They're ready to come out to Texas. And when they find out I'm just like 30 kilometers drive from where they are.
Yeah. They're just like, what?
I go, by the way, let me save you airfare. You just come down, take this exit. I'll be there. It's like, what? You're here? You're local? The type of support I'm getting from the type of people, there's no way in hell I would have thought that we would have interacted.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. If you didn't turn that page, you wouldn't have met so many people. You would have been like almost a different person. I always think of that too. If I didn't have a podcast, I wouldn't have talked to so many people, not just guests, but like other people that talk to me about it. Yeah. And they're always pretty cool people, and you learn something from them. And it's like, I thrive off that difference too.
Absolutely.
Where you see them and they're so different, they have their own life, and it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, and we're not sharing any resources with anybody. We can talk to them, understand them, and everybody have their spaces. There's nobody's trespassing on anybody in any way.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of it. We don't have to be threatened by regional lines, right? It's all
in your head. But people love making divide.
Yeah.
It's almost like just as much as like you want everyone to be together, people want everyone to just be different too. They're like, oh, you're from here, you suck, man. I'm from here, it's the best.
Yeah.
That divide is almost everywhere in other communities too.
The groupism, right?
Yeah, the groupism. And maybe it's because people used to hunt and survive in, what's that thing called? Tribes?
Yep.
People are all tribal genetically. They call tribal.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think it's just more so like upbringing, just like to stick around upbringing because they feel like, just trust upbringing, right? What are they going to do to us, right? But I feel like that's also like a thing, like where we live here, it's like, you see it, like there's just pockets or streets just all upbringing, or there's just certain sides of like cities, it's just all upbringing.
But like, yo, I'll be the adversary and say it's so sick, yo. Like everyone on my street, their grandparents like keep security of our house, man.
Yeah,
Like when no one's home, they'll be like, oh, but they kiss each other. Like somebody came here today, they drove by, and there's like a nice. It's like everybody's kids are like walking, and like everybody drives slow and like waves to them, and it's like nice and sweet. Everybody's, I don't know, man. It has this pro. Obviously, you can live in a multicultural neighborhood and have the same care for each other. It's just like I think naturally people get shy, and when they're shy, they just close their doors and windows and stay inside, and it never happens.
And my favorite is scenarios where people from different cultures somehow feel compelled to be ambassadors of their people. So if we had that, we'd have people, we'd move into a new neighborhood, they'd bring the traditional, they'd bring you a cake or a pie and some flowers and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I was basically like, oh, hello, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, there's no thank you, there's no reciprocity. We had no clue. So that was me illustrating like the primary difference I felt from going from that small town.
Yeah.
It's like, once I graduated, it almost feels like I left an era.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone feels like that, but maybe you feel like it more because you moved at the same time.
Yeah. But from 90s now, everything changed now. It went different, right?
I think from the 2000s to now, everything changed now too. Things are just so different. I think it always changes.
I don't remember anything from the 2000s till now.
It was like AOL. And like texting each other on MSN Live or whatever.
Oh yeah, good old MSN.
Yeah, Windows XP and all that jank.
Yeah.
Now things are so slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so like, you can use them way too much to the point that you won't even notice.
The amount of power you have in just your smartphone alone compared to, it's actually crazy when you think about like back when we were growing up. It's just like you have to wait till like the dial-up on like
GameCube was like this big.
Yeah,
man.
GameCube was literally like
whole thing.
Yeah,
and it ran like shit.
Yeah, I still remember like when you actually had to plug those like the red, white,
and I don't know what's
RCA cable,
red, white, and yellow.
RCA cable.
Yeah, you had to plug those in. The RCA cable,
left, right audio, and then the video.
Exactly. Yeah. You just had to plug those in. You had like those like big box TVs, like those huge TVs.
Well, those TVs are stupid, man. Yeah, die if they fell on you.
Yeah, literally.
You're actually so happy I had one of those.
I did too. That was actually a good time, man. I don't want to be that guy though that just like starts reminiscing on the past too much. But like
I never reminisce on.
Speaking of big TVs, my buddy gave me his old TV once, and it was a big gigantic semi truck of a TV, and it was his pride and joy, and he didn't have room for it. By the time I didn't want it anymore, I'm like, hey, you want it back? He didn't want it back.
Yeah,
but it was his pride and joy. So me being the jerk that I am, lifted up with my tractor that time, tractor fork, and lifted it as high as I could, and just.
No, you didn't.
I thought shit, dude. I've always wanted to smash. It's like, dude,
who doesn't want to smash that jacket?
Yeah, who does not want to smash a TV, dude? Those big TVs, you push them off like a big lift or something. It's so fun.
Yeah,
it's just smashing them. I think I did once when we were moving. We were finally throwing the TV out. I just pushed it down the driveway. I was like, "That's pretty fun."
Because we have to be careful. They're like, expensive things.
They're so heavy too.
When you get a chance to damage it, it's gonna go to the garbage anyways.
They're like monitors.
Segment into small pieces.
One time I punched the shit out of a monitor too because it was finally time to retire it. And I always saw videos of
and did you hurt your knuckles because they're like this thick, the screen? Or
yeah, but it got a black spot. Like all the pixels died in that area. So I wanted to see what it would feel like to be one of those rage gamers.
Yeah.
We got mad and they're like, oh, bro, you did PvP me. What's so much?
I can't wait till they put everything up, just wired into a wall. Like just
what do you mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Right? It's like it's just seamless with the wall. It's just like it just looks like.
Can you imagine if you just unwrap something and just squeegee it on, right?
Yeah.
And it's just got enough sensor that it's just gonna grab the signal. Just all it is populating the pixels. That's it.
There's a TV.
There's a TV.
There's a Samsung expensive house.
Yeah, there's this really expensive Samsung TV that's like paper thin, right? Yeah. It's like so thin, and it legit looks like it's like a part of the wall.
But just get a projector.
I usually get a projector too. Yeah, that works.
So projectors, they're fun, but like TV quality is different.
Yeah. But in a dark room, like
you can't sit in a movie theater all day. You'll be messed. Like a projector is like being in a movie theater. Like the lighting, the coloring, it mess with your eyes.
I can.
I would like that you just get this film, right? It's pre-programmed.
Yeah.
All it does is turn pixels off and on at the right color.
Yeah.
You just take it, cut it to size.
Yeah.
Squeegee it on whatever wall.
Yeah.
Boom. See, wireless, and it's just the wireless signal is sending. It just needs enough one plug to give it juice, and whatever's sending its signal is telling which pixel to pop.
Yeah. So basically, it's an easier installation process. But other than that, it's just
and when you're done, you roll it up, put it in.
Yeah, you can take it somewhere.
Take it in. That's
everybody think.
The future will eventually be that. But it's like, well, that's gonna be.
Take the TV off the wall.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna be affordable though. Like when they do make it, like for the general consumer. Because I feel like it's not a general consumer product like when they first come out with that. Like the Samsung paper thin TV, it's like, what, like 9, 10?
But it's because most people don't see the benefit of spending more on a TV that's just a little bit thinner. Because after you hang it on your wall, generally it's the same shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For your average guy, he's gonna be like, I don't care.
I won't be impressed till you can just go out and buy a thin film.
Yeah, and just slap it on the wall. Then you're gonna take a shit, so you just take the film off and put it in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, like,
Or you put multiples everywhere.
yeah, multiple everywhere. That'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't lie.
Just buy a long enough film, you start just cutting and pasting it all over the house.
Yeah, you can put it
You
out.
could, right?
You could.
Could you just get a roll of it? You could
Yeah.
place it wherever you want.
But then
And
you
also, here's
it
another thing.
everywhere.
As you walk by, if it's this thing is playing here, you just go like this.
Yeah,
Toss it to the next one.
yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Right? It catches it over there.
But then you're just living in a dystopian society. You've come so far from what we're supposed to be like.
Or you could just leave your house and go into the bushes and just kind of have fun.
Yeah, go and
Do something.
The film and you...
Okay, I got a question for you guys now,
Okay.
younger guys.
Okay, go. Shoot.
Once in a while, if I go to a restaurant or eat by myself, I'll purposely go by myself
Yeah,
and I'll leave my phone in the car.
yeah.
Okay.
Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever tried to
I have, yeah.
pocket it? Don't you feel like a reject? Like it's so hard to sit there, do nothing,
Like just sit at a restaurant.
And then not have...
and not have it. I went to a restaurant last week by
Yeah.
myself. I'm like, you guys get a newspaper or magazine? My phone was actually being charged, right?
Yeah.
Dead. I didn't want
So you had no stimulus.
I know. I just didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, like no stimulus, like nothing.
Before the phones, we had newspapers. There was
Yeah,
periodicals, magazines. Still bring you something to occupy yourself,
yeah.
right? They're like, what? Newspaper? You crazy? What's wrong with you? Right? Not one thing to read. So I just sat there just like a robot.
That's pretty sick.
But you got to do it more often.
Yeah. It's like a meditation then.
If you just sit there, go to Tim Hortons one day, sit there for 20 minutes.
I feel like I would just look scary.
Drink coffee like that.
Have been kill himself or something.
It looks like it looks like a psychopath thing to
But if it's also like no one's looking at you, that's just your mind telling you people are looking at you.
It's like the spotlight effect.
going about their days.
It's called spotlight effect when you think...
What's it called?
Spotlight effect when people...
So, yep.
when you think too many people are like paying attention.
If I saw a guy sitting there drinking coffee, I'd be like, this guy's like, living his life. Yeah.
We got to try that more often.
I do it when I study or when I like or when I work. I will lock my phone into a box.
But then like you're still focused on something. His point is like having nothing to focus on and just sitting there with no stimuli. Like say we turned off all the screens and we literally just sat here.
And it's not a conversation.
No, like we just sat here. Like you're alone. His thing was like you're
Like, let's say if we're in a public spot.
Yeah.
In public spot, people are public. They're with friends. They're hanging out. They're doing things. But how about if you just go by yourself
yeah.
to a restaurant or some place and you're just content, right? You're just chilling. You know,
Eating.
sometimes I go to a restaurant. I'll just sit at the bar there and just grab a coffee and just chill, watch.
Well, it's like a 70s movie scene. It's like the lady dude sit at the bar.
But some folks might think, okay, this guy's by himself. They might think either he's lonely or he's by himself. But no, I'm just
You got God with you.
I'm just hanging out
By yourself. You're there.
I'm bird watching. Everybody's a bird, right?
What?
I'm bird watching.
Oh.
Metaphor, please.
People watching.
That's what I mean.
No, the people watching is a thing. People like to go to cafes and people watch. And that's actually
Yeah, because I come from a drama background. I was one of those drama queens during school, right?
Or they just love humanity. And they're like,
Yeah, but I have a genuine interest in people. So, without being a creep, sometimes it's just fun to just chill.
Yeah,
watch the sunset. Right?
yeah, everyone's like God's flower. Everyone's actually unique and different and has something no one else has.
True.
Yeah,
Pretty true.
I wanted to ask you something though, like about obviously you brought it up with your phone, right? Like now that you're on social media and you've been posting everything, right? That you've been doing, right? How has that journey been for you?
Since Facebook came out, I've always been on it.
Yeah,
I've always had my friends.
Damn.
You know, Gandhi, right?
Huh.
And most of my best content was already done back then.
What?
It was on Facebook.
There's no reels or anything. Or
Nothing.
photos.
No, there's videos. Videos, photos, comments. Like most of my best comment is there. But guess what? I deleted it 2 years ago. I annihilated everything that I was for the last decade socially. Gone.
You know, it might be out there somewhere still.
Well,
but it's gone from the public view.
It was gone from me anyway, right? So it was like a new chapter. That was that ride, that run. And I never thought I would ever get back to social media ever again. Never thought.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, I want to tell you how I came across that. I happened to be sitting there. I had Instagram for a long time with maybe one post.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there one day, and my niece, she looks over at my thing. She goes, Taya, you only have 220 followers or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
Huh.
I'm like, I'll show you. That's how it started.
So you're just being competitive.
No, I'm like, okay, I'll show you. And I throw a few videos up and she shares it and it starts floating around out there. This time around, I chose my stage name, right? I didn't use my personal name.
Well, yeah, no one knows your name. I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
Which just gets better that way, right?
Yeah.
Because you're an artist.
Nobody should know my name. Did the Guru say something to that effect? Right?
Yeah.
Don't need to know my name.
Yeah,
Right?
group.
SinghGroov'n, that's it, right?
Right off of that.
And so I like SinghGroov'n, and it allowed me to be free.
Okay.
Now I don't have, in my professional life, I don't have this thing amongst my peers. My personal name is for my children, my family. When I'm in my house, that's me,
Oh, that's pretty sick.
right? That's my
Separation of like your
yeah, and
life
and essentially there's really no separation because everything I do online is authentic as possible. I understand the algorithm rules and all that stuff,
I mean, yo, like the bottom line is you post good content that
I just
people
have
like and you'll grow.
right? I have fun.
Yeah.
I on purpose.
I don't give a shit about the little niche details and all that. That's for geeks, dude. I'm gonna post a video that's funny. They're gonna like it. They're gonna send it to their buddies, and that's it, man.
And here's another.
That's a funny.
I'm the analytical guy. I just be sitting there studying that.
You know,
This is good too.
here's a weird thing and beautiful thing about it is
Yeah.
you have no clue what's gonna take off.
Yeah,
That's the beautiful thing.
yeah. It's actually unexpected, right?
Don't know.
Some of the stupidest videos just get so many views. Like they're so dumb. It's like, bro, why would I ever even post this? People love it though.
You
It goes to show you don't know everyone out there. Like
You
they're
don't
all
know.
different sense.
And
of
here's
humor.
another thing. I can do what I feel like. Ultimately, and I've seen, okay, who's that producer? That famous producer, man.
Who?
Slipped.
DJ Khaled?
No. Way before him.
Oh shit.
During the rock and roll days. I forgot his name.
DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled pretty famous, man. Who the best?
I forgot the guy's name. I feel so bad. But I've seen his interviews lately.
Yeah.
And he says, when you're creating any artistry, right, it should, if you want to do it, it should be for yourself first.
Yeah.
Then. So I'm not in a position where I have to do something or I'm trying to find a trend.
Yeah.
No one just picks up a camera or no one just picks up starting how to do content and immediately grows, right? It's a game of like learning by doing it, right? You have to learn by doing, right?
I had to throw all my perfectionism up.
Yeah.
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 100%.
You have to, right? And then the thing is, like, if you don't do that, you can't sit there and expect it to go a certain way if you're not going to put in the effort to actually go down that difficult path of continuously uploading. Because here's the thing, like, we're all just here still learning, right? But there's people in the space that are 12, 15x times bigger than us, right? And yet they're still continuing to learn as well.
Yep.
And they have a giant team behind them that's posting 5-6 times daily.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really, like, I think what it comes back to is comparison is the thief of joy,
Absolutely.
right? So if you sit there and be like, why am I not this and why am I not that? You got to realize you have your own journey. Your time will come as long as you stay consistent, right? So that's my advice for everyone out there.
That's the advice. That's super important. So it was really funny when I first started out. I had a cousin of mine called,
Yeah.
and he's laughing hysterically. What do you think you are, an influencer, right?
Yeah.
Now,
So yeah.
I'm not doing.
I'm not doing influencer. Guy, cool guy.
So he's saying, "What do you think you're, a cool influencer?" And he's laughing at me, and I'm like, "No, I'm like cool, right?"
Yeah.
And had I been maybe not as self-confident or not as weathered maybe by life, maybe I would have forget this stuff, right? I could have convinced myself against myself. But I went like, going now, right?
Yeah.
And then now he's like looking for the next one always, right?
Yeah.
When you're posting next, right? He's my biggest supporter, right?
Yeah.
So you never know.
Fair enough. I mean, that's the thing I realized too. Is a lot of people in the beginning, they'll just be like, what is this? They'll be so curious. But then their outlook on life will make them reflect it out as some negativity. It's like, what are you doing, bro? I don't get it. But then with time and results, they see the vision too. The biggest thing is if you're one of those people who's designed to just like care so much about what people think, those people will get you in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That's why this path is less traveled.
I never thought that at my age, I'd be sitting there with my thumb editing stuff.
Yeah.
When I first started, it was
CapCut
painful.
to edit shit on TikTok.
Let me tell you.
Adobe or what the
Let me tell you the software I use for my edits.
What do you use? Microsoft Paint?
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah, there you go.
Just hack it through Instagram. Thank you very much, right? I always say I'd love to make a feature film production
Huh.
with an iPhone.
A short film with
Yep,
an
not no, full.
Oh, full film.
Yes. With
Yeah,
an
I've
iPhone.
seen those. They're really
They've
good
done-
films. They win awards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but-
it's like, they always say, like in the script writing film world, if you have a really good story, but you know, these days, and I've got so tired when I go to theater, you see these sci-fi,
Sure.
all this.
Like what?
graphics,
It's an example.
Transformers drive me up.
Transformers.
Too much going on, right? Where's the
Yeah.
storyline, right?
Yeah.
The thing about
The new Fast and Furious is like that too.
Yeah, right.
There's just so many effects and CGI.
attention span is so short that they
Yes.
kind of have to do that.
But the tension man is important, in my opinion, because they don't have a storyline.
Yeah.
If you have a compelling storyline, you could shoot it on an old 1980s camcorder
Yeah.
and it'll fly.
Yeah, you can.
That's the art, right?
Yeah, that is.
Let's create something and then don't worry about the technical.
Aspect of it, yeah.
As the budget grows, you can do that.
I like the new Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a really chill movie. There's a lot of ambience.
Are you talking about the cartoon?
Yeah. You don't like it?
I went there thinking, okay,
Story was sick, man.
everybody's still, no, I love the story, but somehow or another, I'm just looking at these cartoons going, what am I doing here? I don't know, it just didn't do it. I like the premise. I think it's cool. I'd love to see it in actual human form rather than cartoon.
No, I'm like that sometimes with some stuff, like animes and all that. I don't get it because I'm watching cartoons. But with Spider-Man, I went with some friends and I had no idea what I was going into. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm not going to have a presumption that because it's a cartoon, I'm a grown-ass man, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I looked at the colors. I looked at the way they tied the music into it. And I felt like that art affected me like really nicely. Like my creative type shit.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. Yeah.
I specifically went matinee, the middle of the day. So I wouldn't fall asleep.
Oh, damn.
Guess who falls asleep?
You? Bro, you're such an uncle like that. Right? It's like typical uncle.
3/4 in, I'm like,
Yeah.
it couldn't hold me. It couldn't hold my attention. A good production, doesn't matter how sleepy I am, a good production will keep me from sleeping.
No, but what's been your favorite encounter with a fan from doing also all this content?
When I was at the bubble thing there, right? I took
The Bubblicious thing?
yeah, the punch, whatever, 5X.
5X.
Yeah.
So I was there, I'm just hanging out, and I'm walking around going, none of these people recognize me. Give me, you know, I'm just thinking, think that somebody recognizes me.
Yeah, at least one guy.
They all do. It's just nobody wants to reach out. Everybody, it just takes time.
Yeah, but people kind of are too. I like hearing people, man. They don't believe it's like that person is.
So I'm hanging out, and this young girl, maybe 18, 19-year-old, comes up to me. She goes, just want to say hi to you. I didn't know if it was you, but then when I saw your boots, because I wore my cowboy boots,
Oh.
when I saw your boots, then I knew it was you. I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. You know, I'm shaking her hand, and I don't know what more to say. I'm like, do you want to take a selfie with me then? Right? Like, what else you do?
Yeah, what else?
Her family's taking a photo with me. Right? So I actually really enjoy when people connect with me and reach out. I actually really enjoy it.
Different than us.
Oh, really? You guys don't like it?
No, it's not like it, man. It's this guy right here.
It's not that
I don't mind, yo. Like,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like it. I love meeting people, talking to people, but I'm just like, so like, if I'm out in public, I'm just like getting my stuff done and just dipping. Right? I don't look for people. If someone,
Yeah, but he was at a social party type thing.
even if I'm
At a party type thing, you're gonna be like feeling yourself. You're
even
like,
if I'm
what's
there,
up?
no, best thing, even if I was there with you, I wouldn't be actively like, why isn't anyone coming? I'd be like, I'm just chilling. I'm living life.
No, I've always been like that. I've always like, okay, I'm in the room now. I want to describe the first time I actually influenced somebody.
What's the first time you influenced someone?
It was so much fun. There's some young kid from our town here. Hey, uncle, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, hey, cool, man. Right? This is like maybe when I was at 2,000 followers or something.
Yeah.
And I see his thing. He's got a very suggestive, you know, when you write something on your caption or who you are or whatever.
Yeah.
He had something so stupid and absurd, like
Really?
offensive, right?
Oh, like offensive. Okay.
Like something dumb, right?
Yeah.
So I message him. I go, hey, bro, what's up with that?
Yeah, what's up with their bio?
Sorry, uncle. I go, take it down. Okay.
That's actually pretty like, bro.
Influence.
Yeah, he said on stream. On Instagram, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't like an uncle thing. It's like he reached out to me. He's appreciating me. He's messaging me.
Hey, just tell him something.
Right? But then I'm like, hey, bro, let's do it.
Should have just changed when you get the
Let's be classy.
Okay, so you grew up in Prince Rupert, which is a small town. And I know a lot of kids now growing up in small towns, or even around here, they have trouble remembering or staying with Sikhi and being connected to it. So, like, how was that journey for you growing up in somewhere like Prince Rupert?
I am glad you mentioned that. So, I think the common, pathway, fundamentally, the more successful pathway is when children are raised at minimum with pride in their language
Yeah.
and even their culture, dance, arts, whatever of their culture, to be cool with it.
Yeah, like a positive affirmation that like this is
Yeah.
who we are.
This is who we are. So
Yeah.
I remember growing up, like every Sunday, Dad dragged us to the Gurdwara. I'm very appreciative of the racism because it kept reminding me of who I was. If I didn't have it,
Dude, I read that.
I lost it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like a lot of people will think they're doing their kids a favor by like assimilating them and cutting their hair. But in reality, that pain of like, yo, I'm so different is what's going to grow up and give you so much character to speak of.
So I would say that I remember the kids. So I didn't have a Judah when I was growing up. I remember the kids that did, that
Yeah.
had their hair. They didn't have, their parents did not know how to explain things to them.
Oh.
They were no man's land.
Mm.
Most of them chopped it off and never came back.
Yeah. That's no man's land.
The 70s, 80s kids that grew up with Judays, most of them didn't keep them because they didn't have Sangat as much as they needed, but they didn't have that understanding.
Yeah. One of my best friends, he was my neighbor for a long time. He's like 5-6 years older than me. But he grew up in Mission, BC in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which now Mission is very multicultural, but back then it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And just the other week, he was telling me the story of how when he was younger there, and someone else in his class, as a joke, they like got a scissor and brought it near his head because they didn't understand anything about who he was. But he's like, the thing that saved him through all that was like every day at home, his parents would tell him Sakis.
Yeah.
And like every day at home, his parents would like remind him like who we are and like play movies on the TV and like keep him connected. So he would somehow feel like even though he has no one there, he has like the still belonging.
I never would have thought, I never imagined that I would come into Sikhism in that way, like Baghdadi, everything, the whole thing. But ultimately, one thing that I didn't understand growing up was how amazing our Sikh history is. Everything that I thought I was capable of doing was already done 100 years ago.
Yeah. I love saying that.
You know, and at one point I became a specialist in the Anglo-Sikh era. Because that's the most documented.
Oh, when the British came in?
Yeah, the
Maharaj Ranjit Singh. And
Yeah,
the,
that's the most documented. That's the stuff we can read in English, right?
yeah, Jallianwala
Yeah,
Bagh.
anything that I think I can do is already been done. And I love the succession. Here's what I like. Grow up, university educated, go to war, and then they become Babe. Right?
Yeah.
They earn, they lived, right? It's not directly straight to Babaism. They actually did their time. They were educated. And I'm like, holy crap. That, when I saw that, because I could never understand, for me it was a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
Do I walk away from Western society and know who I am? Or what do I do? But when I saw those examples, I read them, I'm like, hold on a sec. These guys were immersed. And they were still uniquely themselves, but they were still what they were doing. And then the other thing is when you're being raised in the BC school system from the 70s and 80s, you don't even have a clue of your riches and your greatness.
What do you mean? Like, they didn't used to tell you anything about... I guess they still don't
Still not
teach anything.
Still not happening.
It's mostly more native people stuff.
Yeah, well, we got First Nation stuff, which is awesome because
Yeah,
there wasn't enough of it before. At least we could appreciate
residential schools.
Yeah.
And all that.
we can appreciate that. But ultimately, I don't have a complaint against the way it is because it's not our native country. It's not Punjab country. Right?
Yeah. That's
The people that are the custodians of it by demographics or by population are going to run their country the way they are. They're going to tell their history primarily, right? So what I'm saying is, had I known, right? Had I known, I would have had a different sense of who I was, right? But I still had a strong sense of who I was. But it was really amazing when I actually go, wow, there's this whole layer of amazing documented history
Yeah.
of some really cool people who were just excelled in everything they did.
Yeah. It gives you like...
That was the template. That got me. And that got me going, I can see how it's possible now.
The way I like to put it is like, our history has so many sacrifices and so much darkness that anything that happens in your life today, there's no way you can't look back and be like, yo, this is what people have been through. This is how they survived. This is how much faith they had. Or I can't get through this. There's so much like genuine hardship in the past that anything now you compare to that and it's just like, okay, this is nothing.
Yeah.
And it's nuts.
Piggybacking off of what Manav just said, what do you think about the generation, today's generation, in terms of like their relationship?
My generation, like
Our generation, it's like relationship with Sikhi. Do you think it's more of like, do you think that people are starting to connect a bit more, or do you think people are regressing?
You know, when I go to Nagar Kirtans, I'll confess, I spend most of the Nagar Kirtan just looking at everybody's turban.
Watching.
I watch their turbans.
And what?
I look at everybody's turbans.
Everybody's
All I do. Everybody's the star.
Okay.
I'm just watching them. I'm just like, okay, this guy tied it this. I love it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, this the mala is just done top notch. Okay, this guy's missing some angles here. This guy's ears out. It should be in. Like I'm watching it.
My ears
right?
are out.
Okay,
What do you think of our puns?
I didn't even notice your ears out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? I'm not against ears out.
Okay. But like,
Better be.
what do you rate mine and Mano's pugs then?
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good question.
I find, okay, your guys the stars.
Yeah.
I feel humility in them, humbleness, and you're the stars.
Mm.
Right?
Okay.
And so, at one point I used to wear the mala before, right?
Yeah.
And, but that's such a heavy uniform.
Yeah.
Got to represent.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
And I just didn't want to play games. The toughest thing here is, and we're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm the first to guilt of it. Somewhere deep down inside in our mind, we always have this tension of, I look a certain way, but how close to am I that internally?
Yeah.
Right? We all have that tension. I think sometimes at the youth level, it's very easy to dress up and hit your Nagar Kirtans.
Yeah. We got the big on and everything.
It's all fun.
But like on the inside, or you started thinking about this, do you see everything else?
You had 3 pizzas last night. You stayed up till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You didn't do your Nithanem.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the part. I love the outlook. It's great. There's pride in it. But we have to unlayer it.
Yeah.
We have to just keep doing more.
Just keep build so much discipline. The way that like Singh is used to have with their Amrit.
Beautiful.
It's
inspiring.
It is insane. Yeah, that faith. Okay, that was a good answer. Okay, for like the pod rating still out of 10.
What do you say?
The pod rating.
You still haven't rated our
Okay, so I dare not rate any of the stars. They're all 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But like just based on
Considering that, I like the lines. Concise, solid lines. Now, I want to ask you, is that like 1,500 raps or does it just looks like that?
it just looks like that.
Okay.
I tied it in a way that makes it look. This is only John.
He presses it with the iron.
Oh, yeah, one of those dudes.
No, he does. He irons his whole stuff. I know people in England who do that.
I don't.
England people they do that a lot, man. So mostly part Monday, Jade.
During,
Yeah.
of course, I call them both pugs. You call them small sip?
The ones that are like super Englandy, like a little bit.
Oh, okay, those are.
No. I just wake up every morning and just lapet ke chalo bhai, bhai. That's it. I love it, man.
It's because he does F74 and he just pulls it and it all just scratches up.
So here's the thing. I've been so busy in life with my renovations. My wardrobe's kind of just like worker wardrobe, right?
Yeah.
I haven't really got into the depth of thread count. You know thread count?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thread count. So the more thread count there is, the more that's like, that made in Canada kapra?
Yeah.
Thread count.
Dude, I don't understand. I don't get lie. The thread count.
Right?
I see the fashion on your feet. I don't understand, bro.
Thread count.
Bro, he does the thread count, man.
Thread count. The more thread count you have,
The more dense your kapda is,
the more real it is.
the more thicker it is,
Right?
and the heavier it is.
Exactly.
So wait,
For example, this mustard shirt,
yeah,
$5 at Walmart.
yeah,
Probably got the worst thread count.
but it's thick,
I'm going to run it through the wash 5 times and it's done.
and it gets loose.
Whatever. It's just done, right?
Yeah.
But thread count. And then the other thing is, I haven't got in depth with the different materials of the stars. It's a mystery to me.
You need to tie. I'm telling you, F74, the kapra that I'm tying right now.
F74?
F74. It's the lightest kapra to tie, and it actually like you can like cuss it on your head and you won't feel it.
Okay.
And like it's so nice, so breathable.
But it depends because you try Norcal this time, so I don't think it works.
I don't. It might not work for you.
It doesn't.
I need something. So I have, I have a few different ones at home. And I have my favorites as the way they wrap. Some of them are too soft. They just don't shape.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, I've just been using the same ones from like 20 years ago, and they're all beat up because I've been renovating. I'm down to like 3. And so I need to shop again. And what I hate is when you're in India, they're like, yeah, this is the best quality, blah, blah, blah. And you go on, wash it once,
class.
done. They cheated you because you didn't understand thread count.
Well, it's really down to understanding.
Right? And they're all fun oil. And they'll just throw out the tons. They just unravel them. 10 over. You're thinking, wow.
It's like that bazaar vibe.
Yeah.
I love it when people go to buy suits, they throw a different designs of flowers that you don't like any of them, and then they have to put them all back, but they're like, F it. I don't even care. It's like, holy shit, dude.
These poor
I
guys.
had so much work for me to spend no money. Like,
There's like 6 guys just wrapping up, resenting you, no fail, right?
I don't even look excited. I'm just here, like, just staring at stuff, and you're just like opening
packages.
My favorite is when they start ripping out the shirts, unravel, and then
Yeah.
Set there just like chako, dekho.
Yeah.
But I actually love that. That like soda, like that's just, that making a deal shit. It's like they ask for 200, you come in at 50, and then you make a deal at like 80.
so
Bargaining.
the next time I go to India, we're doing some shopping.
Some the start.
You gotta, you know what? Here's a
You
content
want to get
idea.
a tax price?
Here's a content idea.
Sure.
Take your phone.
Yep.
Just record it.
Yeah.
Like you're just doing bargaining.
Maybe an idea. Eh?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Because your personality with that mixed in with people love seeing people get a good deal.
Sure, why not?
Telling you, man.
But I'm on the quest for some, like I put my dastars on like back burner. My demand for the kind of dastar I want.
Really?
Okay, F75,
F74.
F74.
Telling you.
75 the whole.
I'm just gonna remember. I'm gonna visualize F4 on the keyboard.
F75 ਤਾਂ ਕਸ਼ਾਇਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ.
Really?
No, this shit happening, man.
No, F74 is solid.
Okay, what's cap mean? Explain that. What's a cap?
I'm putting it, man.
Lying. Like
Huh?
you're lying.
Capping?
You're capping. That means you're lying.
No, it means you're pumping it.
Like you're just they like pop.
What if somebody's all caps?
Huh? Fully capping it?
That means you're just like a.
That means there's just a pathological liar.
Oh,
Yeah.
all caps is a path.
Like it's like say if you told me right that you've been tying F74, I'd be like you're capping it.
Okay.
As you just told me you didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Lesson of the day.
Okay, what's risen mean?
Riz? Oh, okay. This is a good segment. This is a good. Okay, what does Riz mean? Okay, actually, gonna explain what Riz is.
Okay, so it's how you spit game.
ਦੋ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ unspoken Riz, yeah? The second type is the spoken Riz.
Yeah. So like it's how you spit game to like a girl or
No, man, it could be to anyone.
or to anyone.
But essentially, is Riz connected with somebody's game with a girl? Is
Pretty
that,
much, yeah, right.
that doesn't refer to
It's like social game, bro. It's like you come to my house and I give you chachu and I'm like bajoji and I like give you a blanket and I'm like I got that Riz here, you know?
Riz.
I'm like taking good care of you. We got some good social energy going on.
Gotcha.
If you come to my house and I take like 10 minutes to open the door and I'm like, how'd you get in? Then that's like bad Riz, right?
Yeah.
It's like the
The
connection.
game that you have just like socially. It could be with, like it doesn't necessarily have to be with like someone you're interested in terms of for a relationship, just in general, just with people, right?
Some people just have Riz. Like this guy walks in, right? Pug matches the logo on the shirt.
Right.
That's it. It is.
And it's backwards. Why is it backwards?
Oh, it's just a design.
It's ajkal putte dimaag.
It's a the brand. Yeah.
Because ajkal people putte dimaag.
Well, speaking of shirts and logos,
Yeah.
I show you about my.
Yeah. What's up with the mustard? What's up with the
Remember
mustard?
the mustard shirt song that I did?
Yeah. It's
Okay, well, I came today and I actually
Man has the mustard.
I actually manually put on my logo.
That's a Sharpie?
Yeah.
Dude, it looks so cool.
Look, what does it say?
Hashtag
mustard shirt.
SF.
Signature SinghGroov'n.
You gotta make that into like
I gotta sell that.
I don't even know how to. You guys help.
You're pretty jacked, man.
Tell me how I can. Tell me how I can.
How we can sell it?
Should I?
I know a supplier.
A mustard shirt.
I remember this song.
A mustard shirt. I got a mustard shirt. My children say the color's whack, but I got a dad body and I'm stacked. A mustard shirt. A mustard shirt, yeah. Put a little bit of relish and tomato on that mustard shirt. A mustard shirt. A mustard shirt, yeah.
Mustard shirt. Let's go it in person. I get the song. I love string instruments. They have like a power in them.
Yeah.
Like just even from the tanti sajas and Dilruve to there's like guitars and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't listen to enough live string instrument music. You know?
Yeah, it's
Here's another thing. Because with the British coming into India, we all understand that everything that had potency, right, was just watered down. Musicianship, our Shastra Vidya, everything. So can you imagine, we hear the stories of the history, the accomplishments, but then we don't see it aligned with what we physically see. We don't see the world-class Tanti Saj expressions as if we want to see.
Yeah.
We don't see the inspiring world-class Shastra Vidya, right? So we're left to see it as it almost feels mythological, right? Because we're not seeing that expression.
That's true.
And that's the big divide, is how do we uncover, right? how we cover our historical thread count, basically.
Thread count. And
Thread counts a nice
like,
word.
God,
I love this.
back at it again. All right, Singh. We're gonna go into the final topic of the pod. But here's the thing. These are all quick fire questions. So what's one thing you don't get about kids today? It can be any type of terminology, habits, anything.
Could be the way this guy's dressed today.
Damn.
Anything.
The only way I'll answer that is I feel sorry that they got lost in their phones. They got lost in their phones. Any kid who learns how to communicate, looks somebody straight in the eye, and has authenticity, they're millionaires. They're 10 millionaires waiting to happen. They have no competition. They have no competition right now.
Authentic eye-to-eye conversation.
Such a call, talk, go to town. Like when I was younger, Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
12 years old.
I hate calling people now. I'll be like, let's text them.
No.
Back then, you'd find like to lower that number or something. You'd be like, hello.
Here's the other thing. In professional capacity, at one point, I started depending more on text and emails. But no.
Nothing beats
Drive over there. Drive over there, sit with them, talk to them.
You get what's in the air. That's good. You guys lost in their phones, man. Active's lost in sauce. You ever see those screen time screenshots, man? People don't even realize they're on their phones for like 18 hours a day. And then it's just like, they just check it and it's just like dumb.
I had
works on my phone, right? So
that's the problem. I had a student working with me, young adult, and I said, I'm going to deduct $2 an hour from your wage if you want to keep the phone with you. Right? Or I'll pay you $2 more if you put the phone in my glove compartment. He took the pay cut.
Wait, why? You're like, I'll pay you $2 more if you put your phone in my glove box.
Yeah, otherwise,
like, no.
You're losing $2 an hour.
Well, maybe he thought you were going to murder him and throw him in a bush or something.
Glove box. If I was going to murder him, his phone would help him anyways.
The farmer, he's like, I can't do that. SOS. Can't message mommy.
No, so I offered him $2 less.
Yeah, to just focus on the job, I guess.
I said $2 more if you put your phone. Nope, I'll take the $2 pay cut. So
that's pretty crazy.
That's actually just sad.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad.
Now, are relationships harder to form nowadays for the younger generation, you feel like?
Yes.
Yes?
There's nothing left. Everybody's into themselves. This is the best time in mankind to have like, let's say if somebody gets exposed or something big happens, right? Within 3 days, they're forgotten. The best time.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Logan Paul in the suicide forest in Japan.
I don't even know about it.
No one remembers.
Straight, nobody knows. Right? So, people are lost into their phones. To sit there. Here's another thing, and I'm guilty of it. Right?
Okay.
You're sitting with somebody, and you can't get 2 sentences in without them going like this. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
How can you form a relationship with somebody? So I have a cousin of mine who's got a new cousin from India who's married. They're newly married. They come home from work. They sit on the sofa, don't talk to each other, on the phone for a few hours, and then they go to sleep.
It's just sad.
See, this is the most fun I've had in a long time. Where's our phones, guys?
Yeah.
Right? They're up. Both don't have our phone. Your phone's over there somewhere.
We're here.
Look, genuine conversation, right?
Yes, we're here.
This is hard. It's rare nowadays.
Well, a lot of people do that, man. They just go home and go on their phones and go to sleep and they don't talk to anyone in their house. I don't do that anymore.
I feel like that's like,
it's so sick.
So detrimental to your relationship too, because you can't communicate.
Yeah.
Because I've literally seen people, they'll be in the same room, but they'll text each other.
That's pretty sad.
That's just sad.
Yeah.
That's just depressing.
I've seen people sitting beside each other on the sofa and then they'll FaceTime each other.
That's just depressing.
No, that doesn't make it no.
No, that would actually be sad.
I thought you guys get hooked in and be like, holy shit.
That's my answer to that. It's hard for relationships to form.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult.
Fair enough. If you can make a song with one person, who would it be? Any person.
Recently, I have a reggae style song I wrote when I was 23. And I recorded it in the good old days, analog days. That song can only be produced by Belly Sagu.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the guy I want to work with for that one song. That song, he needs to produce it.
Do you ever feel judged by older uncles in the Punjabi community?
No. For what you do? No, I don't think they're on Instagram.
Yeah, they're so low key. No one cares. I feel like the older you get, the less you care about others. The younger you are, the more you talk and care about others.
It's a spotlight effect again.
I don't think they get it. Like the ones that do know about it, they just don't bring it up. They don't know what to do with it.
What do you mean? Oh, like
I've got peers my age, they watch me.
They might love you.
They never mention it in person. It's just we're not going to talk about it.
They're your number one fans.
So
I'm like that too. Wait.
your friends don't mention it to you, like when they come up to you.
No, like
the
older ones.
Yeah,
like some of them, they're just like they don't know what to do with it.
really.
They don't know what to. There's lots that do, but there's lots that just don't know what to do with
See,
it.
that's so different because I feel like such a starting point for a lot of my conversations with my friends, even my older friends, is how's the podcast going?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that's like a very central topic that'll
I can tell you something. From when I was younger, your guys' age group, anything artistic had to be quantified by, does it give you earnings? The classic Punjabi, it'll kuch nikalda,
Yeah.
kuch banda hai de vich, right? So when I first started the Instagram stuff, go show my mom. She looks at it, she goes, are they paying you? Right?
Yeah.
I go, no, mom, let me tell you. Yeah. I can't explain anything, right? Yeah. So then she gets all worried. Well, blah, 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 blah. She's got all these concerns. Then she comes around. You know when her peers say, hey, we saw your son on the Instagram. Hey, we really love his stuff.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh, now we're bought. Now we're sold.
Yeah,
right?
we're sold.
So,
yeah.
So
validation.
So that generation, my generation or older, the uncle generation, you want to call them, it's only going to be correlated if there's income involved. That's the only validation you're going to get out of that. Otherwise, art for the sake of art is not something that's very common in farm-based Punjabi community.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Would you ever go for a tour to the Titanic wreck?
Never.
Smart answer.
You wouldn't?
No reason to. Why would I?
Look at it, it's just a dead boat.
Hey, you know what?
If you discover something.
You know what? I can stare at a blade of grass and get the same happiness.
Staring at a blade of grass?
Yes.
You know what?
That's a Titanic in itself.
There you go.
That's pretty deep, man.
Stare at a blade of grass, you will see the grandness that even the Titanic can't touch.
That's so deep. That's crazy.
Rogue jumped a bar.
Thread
count. That's the game.
All right.
Oh my God.
What's the scariest thing to deal with as a parent? Like, as obviously having kids and stuff. Like, what would be like if your kid came home and did something? Like,
every parent biggest concern.
Yeah.
They just want to see their kids enjoy.
Okay.
Blissful happiness.
Their time. Yeah.
Carefree.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Under no tension. Right? Because every parent goes, man, I did my time. I got the tension.
Yeah.
Right? And also, you guys are going to do this. I did it. I'm still working on it. Every generation breaks the curse before them. Sometimes you break the generational curse. It's too late, but you still break it. You still work hard on it, right?
Where's the most awkward place to get recognized at?
I can't remember.
I'll tell you mine.
Sometimes I have people acknowledge me, the most unlikely people.
Oh, really?
And for me, it's usually like the very, very traditional looking, quiet dudes, right? They're just there and you think, these guys, they probably have a problem with this, right?
And,
I know. And they'll just come up to me after, hey,
dude, I feel the same way,
right?
It's like all these very serious people you'll never.
But they appreciate you,
from,
right?
Yeah. They'll come to you and be like, yo, I like what you're doing, man. It's good stuff. Keep doing it.
I got my mom's peers, aunties going, I've been watching your videos. I'm like, you?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. And they're like crazy.
So do we know our reach? Right? Do we know where the sun's going to shine? It's just going to shine.
Yeah.
Right?
It resonates with people, man. It resonates because they don't have.
But I never thought. And it's actually, you know what it's telling you?
Yeah.
That they're serious about who they are, but they still have open mind.
Yeah.
They still got the flow. They see, okay, we understand. Like, there has to be room. There has to be room.
Yeah.
What's been your dumbest purchase?
I'm sorry?
What's been your dumbest purchase?
Dumbest what?
Purchase.
Dumbest purchase?
Yeah, I really like.
Oh, let me tell you about best purchase. Dumbest purchase ever.
Best, dumbest.
Okay.
The best dumbest purchase.
Best dumbest purchase. When I was about 19, 20, a little bit aimless, watching my black and white TV with the one channel.
Yeah.
How we first moved to the Lower Mainland.
Yeah.
My friend circle is not here. No vehicle, just kind of chilling. Watching the one black and white TV show until the Canadian national anthem would come on when they shut the channel down.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah.
The heck? That's how it would be.
Yeah, that's how it was. But, I guess there's nothing to watch now, right? There was this guy named Tom Vu. He was one of those, be like me, make a lot of money. I'm an investor. Let me teach you for only $14.50. So I went through that. I'm like, you know what? tell my dad. My dad goes, yeah, if you think it's possible, go for it, right? So
Trusted you.
I go, Dad, you know what? I don't feel like it. The night before, he goes, well, you going to do it or not? I go, what do you think, Dad? He goes, yeah, go for it. And my dad's very rigid, very close-minded, but I don't know. Sometimes he amazes me.
Yeah.
Like when I don't expect it, he's actually open, way more open than I think. Anyways, so he says, go there. And so I show up. This is my first exposure to the scam.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why it's the best, dumbest purchase ever happened. I go in there. They're in the lobby of a really fancy hotel. The people talk for 2 hours. They haven't introduced the personality guy yet. And this guy always in his commercials, he's on a boat with bikini girls. Look at me, I made so much money, right?
Yeah.
That's not what got me, but his whole thing was, I'm doing so well.
Yeah.
I think it was just a front, man. I don't think he was doing anything.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're there and I'm there like, on my jogging pants, trying to be like fancy. I don't know how to drink to put the plate underneath the coffee cup. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just give me the cup. Anyways, right? And at 10 o'clock, they go, you have a money back guarantee. If you want to leave now, you get your money back. You're $1,450.
$1,450 back then?
Yes, but they left it as a cliffhanger, right? They left it as a cliffhanger that if you want to stay for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I need to know.
The secret.
So I came back, and all they taught was the most unethical things you could do to find people in distress and close to foreclosure, and how you go just scam them out of their money. Right? Like, oh, if your place is worth $100,000 and your mortgage is $40,000, hey, don't take a credit hit. We'll give you the $40,000. You part ways. Give me the rest of the house. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of
Okay.
It was
We'll take your whole house.
well, we'll buy you the house from you, and we'll pay you just your money. You get out, right? Because the bank's gonna foreclose and give you your equity anyways.
Yeah, but then you have the 7-year thing.
So now you got this, right?
Yeah.
And when I came back, and I go to my dad, and he goes, well, how was it? I go, Dad, none of these techniques I learned, I won't be able to exercise them until I'm at least 40. Because you need assets, you need to be mature. You can't just walk in there, a 21-year-old, I'll buy your house. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why is it my best, dumbest purchase? Because after that, I got so many opportunities to get swindled even more.
The swindle?
To get swindled by many other pyramid scheme type of, hey,
Like you should use pretty much.
or like, hey,
woodwork.
there's this type of product you can do.
Yeah.
I stayed clear of it.
Mm.
So it was the best $1,450.
So it's taught you a lesson, essentially.
Best $1,450 I spent. That was my dumbest purchase.
Fair enough. But it grew your mind.
Well, I just
Character development. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode. Special thanks to SinghGroov'n for coming out.
thanks.
And we're going to exit the pod with a song from SinghGroov'n.
With a little bit of a strumming, just a jam.
This guitar is super nice, by the way.
This
so
is
light.
an $850 guitar.
It's so light.
I'll tell you a little bit about it, actually. I went into the guitar store, and I found the guy who can play guitar, the salesman. I go, come inside. I close my eyes, and I say, play them one by one until I get the right sound. Because there's like very expensive ones that sound like trash. Notice one thing about this? It's so warm. I don't like clanky guitars. I don't like twangy guitars.
Okay.
It's warm?
No, what he's talking about, yeah.
Like it's a little...
It's not like clanky. It doesn't sound like too high pitched. Very tuned. It's tuned really nicely. Is that a Yamaha? That's sick. All right.
sweet.
See you guys in next week's episode. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.